Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the Australian national anthems and the Vietnamese anthem.
Dear friends, in joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia
Council is extremely pleased that this memorial has been built here at Kevin Wheelahan Gardens. Public spaces such as this play a significant role reflecting and retelling the stories that are such an important part of our history and culture. These gardens are already home to an avenue planting that honours the veterans from the Sunshine District who served in World War I. The addition of a Vietnam War memorial adds another layer of remembrance and provides further synergy with the neighbouring Sunshine RSL.
It's a great privilege for me to have a few words on behalf of the Vietnamese Veteran Association of Australia in the very important day for all of us, the opening ceremony of the Vietnam War Commemorative Park. First of all, thank to all government officials, the Vietnamese community in Australia and Victoria, the Vietnam veterans for their efforts in supporting construction and completion of the Memorial Park. And most important, thanks to our fellow countrymen and all Vietnamese veterans for their great contribution to the project. This Memorial Park will have a tremendous historical value, not only for us, the citizens of the Republic of Vietnam, but also for generations to come, to understand the true story of Vietnam War.
This was the establishment of this memorial park. No words can describe for the work that these men done. But why did they have to make the ultimate sacrifice their lives for our people? That was due to the invasion of communism onto the freedom. I would like to take this moment to really saying that when you left your family here in Australia to defend country that got nothing to do with you, which was Vietnam, you actually indeed sacrifice your love. Bring that love, to share that love with the values of freedom. For that, we thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Each of the names inscribed here belongs to a person who died in the service of this country while seeking freedom for another. Theirs is a life not fully lived, and perhaps a family not raised. They're known to us. Those names are known to many of us here today. We mourn their loss greatly, but we also celebrate their life because they inspire us. Their inspiration is their everlasting gift to us all. This memorial is a most fitting tribute, not only in its design and construction, but also in its origins and the generosity which made it happen. But instead of standing silently here in this place, as memorials often do, I hope that all who pass by here will stop, will pause and reflect. I hope they'll touch the memorial. I hope they'll touch a name, and I hope they'll say that name out loud, because by doing so, those names will live on. The RSL acknowledges and commends the generosity of the Vietnamese community and this beautiful expression of their gratitude for the service and sacrifice of those whose names are inscribed here, lest we forget.
With more than 4 decades of Vietnamese settlement in Australia, This memorial also pays tribute to the Vietnamese settlement in Australia. It honours all Vietnamese Australians who, as one of the largest cultural groups in Victoria, have made and continue to make wonderful contributions to our state.
As long as those two flags are flying in this place, and wherever these two flags fly, we will have freedom. This is also a place of gratitude. And I have to say to you that the Australian Vietnamese community in the gratitude stakes is first, way ahead of anybody else that I can see. They have never, ever forgotten the contribution that our diggers made to their freedom and to their struggle all those years ago. They've never forgotten, and they have never stopped giving and showing that gratitude. Today is another example of that.
There are 521 Australian soldiers, 521 lives, perhaps not fully lived. And there are thousands and thousands more of South Vietnamese soldiers, men and women, whose lives may not have fully lived. And for that, we are grateful. And that is why we don't forget, we cannot forget. And this memorial does just that, to remind our future generations that there were people whose lives were not fully lived, so that ours can be fully lived. Thank you for that. A very, very special contribution from the committee to make this memorial today, and as it is, with all of the details and all of the historical significance that comes together, is our friend Bruce Davis. We have a special plaque for you, Bruce, and of course it has to be presented by a Vietnamese lady, and that is Mrs. B. Ha.
Can I read the certificate we want to give to Bruce? The Vietnamese community in Australia, Vic chapter, cộng đồng người Việt tự do, Victoria, to Major Bruce Davis, MBE, with appreciation from the Vietnamese community in Australia, Vic chapter, and the Commemorative Park Committee for your tremendous effort in the design and construction of the Vietnam War Memorial Park in Sunshine, Victoria. Victoria, 16 December 2017. Thank you, Bruce.
Wait, please. Wait, please. Thank you.
This memorial has today become a reality and a long-lasting tribute to the heroic and ultimate sacrifices of 521 Australian soldiers and hundreds of thousands of Republic of Vietnam's Armed Forces soldiers who have died to protect the freedom and democracy of the people of South Vietnam. This memorial symbolizes the very profound and sacred function in our Vietnamese culture. That is, every Vietnamese person, including those who are born in Australia, must not forget where we came from, why we are here, and what we are here for. It also acts as an important reminder that we must always remember the sacrifices of those who have lived and died before us and for us. For a Vietnamese person, gratitude is not an option, it's an obligation in life. Not just in our lifetime, but in the lifetimes of our children and their children's lifetimes. This tradition of gratitude was evident throughout the 5,000-year history of our Vietnamese people in Vietnam, and it is, once again, evident in the creation of this memorial today.
Yet, I don't think I could ever express my eternal gratitude in words alone. For you, the soldiers, to stand and fight in a war for the freedom of those you never knew is altruistic and truly heroic. Your journey was harrowing, but your hearts kept you going, moving step by step. In war, there are no real winners, and the battle lives on inside of you long after you leave the battlefield. But in your sacrifices, we were given another chance to live.
quê hương buồn giờ phút thê lương. Nhắm mắt lại anh có còn thấy rừng lửa cháy, đêm tăm tối khóc than vơi vợi, người lính chiến đấu trong lẻ loi. Nhắm mắt lại anh có còn nhìn thấy anh em trong hoang tàn giờ phút oan khiên. Nhắm mắt lại anh có còn thấy người tình cũ ngồi trong bóng tối đêm đau buồn, để mãi mãi nhớ anh vô cùng. Lên vang tiếng anh tuần tiến, tướng chết theo thành ngàn năm bất khuất ghi vào vẫn nhớ hôn lạnh cuối cùng.
Cảm ơn anh kịp lớn giữa thù hằn, thắm đôi vai gồng gánh nỗi điêu linh, bóng vinh quang lấp sâu trong huyết lạnh, hãy vùi đóng thầm lặng giữa thanh bình.
That concludes our ceremony today, and we thank you for your attending. And if you please join with us on a noisy barbecue.
What do you think about this event? What are you feeling today? You have a lot of decoration. Yeah.
Well, it supports both sides, really.
Yeah.
That the Australians who went there to help the South Vietnamese nation, and some that unfortunately paid for their lives. So, but it just brings together, I think, both sides in a common goal.
Yeah.
Which makes me very happy.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Not a problem.
Thank you. Thanks.
My pleasure.